Welcome back, dreamers and believers in those true moments that sound louder than any scripted tale. You're in the right place, you're on Turkish Spotlight Secrets, where the pulse of the stars is felt in every word we share. Tonight we cross deserts and red carpets to land on the glittering sands of Riyadh, where a celebration meant to honor talent turned into the most tender chapter in the story of a couple who can't stop stealing the spotlight, Barış Baktas and Yağmur Yüksel. What we bring you isn't just an award night recap. It's the story of a look that didn't blink, a confession that trembled and shone, and a quiet promise that made the gossip world lose its breath. Before we dive into this oasis of emotion, remember that your support keeps this voice alive. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you never miss a heartbeat, and like this video if you still believe that love, real, brave, unfiltered, can surprise us when we least expect it. And for those who want to stand with us, to be part of the circle that helps unravel the stories behind the flashes, the join button is right there waiting. Now, let's relive what Barış saw that night and the moment he knew he wasn't ready to let her slip away. The gala in Riyadh wasn't another tick on a social calendar, it was a stage where feelings walked the same runway as fame. Even days after the spotlights cooled and the carpet lost its heat, the echo of Barış Baktas's words kept bouncing through the entertainment headlines like a storm that refused to move on. That evening, the world paused as Yağmur Yüksel stepped forward to accept her award. Her elegance didn't scream, it radiated. Her poise didn't demand, it glowed. And that glow, that composed fire, didn't just dazzle the guests in their finest, it reignited something fierce and undeniable in Barış's heart. People whisper about what their eyes caught in the corridors, about glances that seemed to finish each other's sentences, about a bond that felt already written in ink the world could read. But the moment Yağmur reached the stage, time itself seemed to hold its breath. The room narrowed to her steps, to the way confidence rose from her like music you feel more than hear. Flashes tried to chase her angles, yet one gaze didn't need any lens, the gaze of Barış Baktas. Those close enough to study the small truths say he didn't look at her like a man admiring a trophy, he looked at her like a man watching a miracle unfold for the second time and recognizing it as his once again. He tracked every gesture, every curve of a smile, every word shaped by nerves and grace. There was pride in his eyes, yes, but there was also something deeper, an emotion that swelled and pushed at the edges of composure. The real detonator of this romancequake, however, arrived days later. At a subsequent event, when microphones leaned close and the inevitable question floated through the air, "What did you feel when you saw Ms. Yağmur that night?" something shifted in Barış's expression. The automatic polish of a star gave way to the bare truth of a man. He paused, as if rewinding the night for himself, and then let the words fall like a vow he'd been carrying quietly. His voice dropped, soft and steady. "That night, I realized I couldn't let Yağmur go." And there it was, the sentence that swallowed every other rumor, that left the chatter picking up its pieces. It didn't need a spotlight, it was one. But he didn't stop there. He opened the door wider and revealed what truly struck him, not only her undeniable beauty, but the relentless discipline she lives by, her unshakable perspective, the sincerity she stitches into every choice. Success, he said with a proud calm, hadn't arrived by chance for her. It was earned, brick by brick, smile by earned smile. Then, almost like the last line of a confession that couldn't last a moment longer untold, he admitted that in that instant in Riyadh he felt an overwhelming pull to be by her side again, fully, openly, without the half-measures that fear sometimes demands. In that moment, the gala became more than a ceremony. It became a turning point that people could feel in their bones. And here at Turkish Spotlight Secrets, we can't help but ask you, when admiration grows into devotion, when respect stands taller than attraction, does the love that rises from it become unbreakable? Is learning to admire your partner the real secret to forever? Tell us in the comments, your words shape this community as much as any headline. And if you love the way we peel back the velvet curtain to find the heartbeat beneath, consider joining our exclusive circle. Your presence is the reason this voice still carries. The whispers from behind the curtains that night are as tender as the confession that followed. The story goes that minutes before the ceremony, when nerves began their quiet knocking, Barış became Yağmur's anchor. While stylists danced around them and time ticked faster than usual, he stood close, breathing calm into the whirlwind. Just before she stepped into the bright, he took her hand with a steadiness that said more than any speech and murmured something only she was meant to hear: "You deserve this more than anyone." It was a small sentence with a monumental weight, the kind of reassurance that reveals a foundation built not only on romance but on a friendship that refuses to shake. Then came the moment every movie tries to recreate. After the applause, after the first bow and the last camera flash, she slipped off the stage as if stepping from a dream into reality, and there he was. Witnesses say that Barış reached her first, eyes bright with the kind of emotion that doesn't apologize for being seen. He wrapped her in a hug that said he wanted to make this victory a place they could share, and there, in the quiet space between public glory and private relief, he repeated what would become the mantra of the night. "I'm so proud of you." No camera fully captured it, but the accounts agree: the hug, the whisper, the way his hands didn't rush to let go. It was intimacy in its truest form, the kind you feel even if you only catch a glimpse. And this is where the world of gossip finds its favorite fuel. A confession like that doesn't land softly, it ripples, it runs, it gathers meaning on the way. Analysts and fans began to wonder aloud if this was the sign that their story is ready for its next chapter. When a man says he cannot let go, is he already holding on to a promise that stretches far into the future? The phrase had the weight of a commitment without the formality of an announcement, and sometimes that's where the truth lives, between the whispered vow and the ring not yet slipped onto a finger. Those close to the couple say that since the Riyadh night, they've been fiercely protective of their time. Work doesn't pause for love, it rarely does. But they've been carving out quiet pockets where their connection can breathe, beyond public schedules and heavy expectations. On social media, in fleeting frames and accidental candids, the chemistry crackles more than ever. It's in the way their laughter spills, in the glances that find each other before the cameras can. Fans call Barış's words a declaration of true love, and it's no surprise that chatter about a future wedding has gathered momentum like a song the crowd already knows by heart. For now, they keep their plans tucked away, and maybe that's wise. Silence can be a shelter, a way of protecting what's growing instead of letting it be picked apart. But actions make their own headlines. Barış has made it clear that walking beside Yağmur on her road to success isn't just comfortable for him. It's an honor. The international attention doesn't rattle him, he meets it like a partner who knows the difference between being overshadowed and being inspired. Every award she holds, he celebrates like it's another chapter in a book they're writing together. Let's not ignore the power of that night, the way Riyadh became more than coordinates on a map. It was a place where talent got its medals, yes, but also where love found a way to be loud without shouting. The glitter of the city settled into a softer glow around them, like a chandelier dimmed to reveal the intimacy of a room. From the sound of the applause to the hush of that backstage embrace, the arc of the evening felt like a promise sealing itself. And if we've learned anything here at Turkish Spotlight Secrets, it's that love isn't afraid of vulnerability when it's real. It isn't scared of stumbling in front of the world if the hand it reaches for is steady enough. Barış showed us that to admire someone is to stand up and say you are my equal, and I am proud to watch you shine. Yağmur, in turn, showed that grace isn't passive, it's a choice to carry talent with tenderness and power with care. Together, they turned an event into a memory that will keep echoing for anyone who believes that real love makes everything around it look a little brighter. So what does your heart say, Turkish Spotlight Secrets family? Are we peeking at the opening chapter of a lifelong promise? Are we inches away from the headline that will break the internet and mend even the most skeptical hearts? Let your thoughts pour in below. Your voice is the chorus that keeps this story alive. And before you float away from this dream, make sure you're subscribed and your notifications are switched on. If this story stirred you the way it stirred us, share it. The world needs more reminders that love can be both soft and strong. And yes, the join button is still there, the best way to say you see our work, you feel our effort, and you want to stand with us as we uncover what truly matters beneath the glitter. In the end, Riyadh will be remembered for spotlights and speeches, but for these two, it will be remembered for a decision, to hold fast, to stop pretending that time was on their side, and to admit that some people are too rare to risk losing. That night, they didn't just pose for photographs. They framed a moment that even the harshest flash couldn't wash out. And maybe, just maybe, the next time the cameras find them, it will be to catch another promise made out loud, a moment where the world gets to witness the truth they already live. Until then, we'll be here, watching the horizon where talent meets tenderness, waiting for the story to turn its next beautiful page, right here on Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Stay close. Stay curious. And never stop believing in the kind of love that looks you in the eye and says, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere, and I'm proud to be standing in your light.